Leaders Brotherhood of Arms, prominent protest group against government's efforts at judicial overhaul, said they never imagined being in a situation where they would stage weekly mass protests against government and fight for Israel's future in face threat from within. Protest leaders speaking CBS 60 Minutes in a report filmed in July and aired Sunday night as Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu embarked on a long-awaited trip to the United States said. Netanyahu's hardline coalition is attempting overhaul the judiciary and block restrictions. The Supreme Court's powers were an existential threat to Israel, and people on street today are afraid that government will gain unlimited power without judicial review, said Ron Scherf, who, like many others in group, has served or is serving in military. Scherf, commander of elite Sayeret Matkal unit, said he and others had defended Israel against many external threats over the years. But now danger comes from within and is much more serious than any external enemy. He added that he never imagined he would protest like this, not 9 months ago, not 3 months ago. And this situation is deteriorating so quickly we can never believe it. Omri Ronen, another protest leader from the Brothers in Arms group and a former officer in an elite commando unit, said Israel's Supreme Court of Justice is our last line of defense. It's just these guys yelling. Ronen said the protesters were not kidding and were genuinely trying to stop this. And we will succeed. Netanyahu's hardline government has faced 37 consecutive weeks of mass protests against the judicial overhaul and fierce opposition from many segments of society. Warnings from allies, including the United States, were also largely ignored. The government has repeatedly attacked unprecedented protest movement, which included reservists, pilots, academics, lawyers, business and technology leaders, with a final statement from Netanyahu, who accused the protesters of joining forces with PLO and Iran in his activities that he framed as anti-Israeli. Speaking to reporters before boarding his plane to the United States early on Monday, Netanyahu said whoever is organizing the protests is doing so with huge amounts of money and financially supported demonstrations. They have made blocking roads a normal thing. Serving in the army and reserves, they have made rejection normal and are denigrating Israel in front of world. Netanyahu was greeted at the airport by hundreds of protesters. Thousands of people also marched across the country on Sunday night to protest the coalition. In 13-minute episode, Minister Justice Yariv Levin, chief architect of judicial overhaul, described concerns and fears those who oppose judicial reform as groundless. Levin told 60 Minutes, "What I want to do is balance that. The judicial system is completely controlled by one group, an elite group. Here more than half the population of Israel. It almost seems